Jovita wore pants, the story of a Mexican freedom fighter by Ada Salazar, art by Molly Mendoza. Jovita dreamed of wearing pants like her brothers, Ramon and Luciano. As was expected in rural Mexico in the 1910s, Abuela made Jovita and her sisters wear big skirts. Jovita hated the way they tangled like weeds around her legs as she scaled the tallest mesquite tree in Rancho Palos Blancos. She wanted to ride Morongo and feel the wind curl her face into a smile. Each morning, Jovita snuck out to tend the animals on the rancho and race Ramon. When she was well out of sight, she tucked her skirts into her bloomers. With her makeshift pants, Jovita could leap and easily outrun her brother. Together, they explored the campo. Jovita discovered the way leaves rustle when rain is coming, where healing plants grow, the shape of every cave, and what might lurk inside: scorpions, coyotes, wolves, rattlers. She followed the rollicking rivers that gave fish and clean water. She listened to the songs of the centonfles and mourning doves, a gentle cuckoo-rooing. As Jovita grew, she heard whispers of a revolution in Mexico. The government had made laws that took power away from the Catholic Church and prevented people from practicing religion freely. Papa joined this Cristeros, the revolutionaries fighting for their rights against the Federation, and rode into the Sierra with Luciano and Ramon. Jovita was left behind, but she dreamed of accompanying her father and brothers and riding Morongo toward freedom. One day, when Jovita was out with her Abuela and sisters, government soldiers came to Palos Blancos in a fiery rage. The family returned home to find ashes where their house had been, and the barn still smoking. Jovita rushed Abuela and her sisters to the cave she knew so well. As soon as it was safe, they moved to another rancho, where Jovita formed a plan. Of course Jovita would make a good soldier. She was wise about the countryside, could ride better than most men, and was not afraid. The next time Papa returned from the battlefield, she made her case. Papa agreed to take Jovita, but only to observe. He would never let her fire a shot over her pants. Jovita memorized Papa's strategies as they sat by the campfire, eating what they'd hunted. Beneath a blanket of shimmering stars, she understood that La Sierra de Morones would always be their friend. When Jovita was 15, government soldiers captured her and demanded information about Papa. No matter how they hurt her, she stayed as strong as the mountain and did not give him up. With the stealth of a fox, Jovita escaped into the moonlight, finding her way home to Abuela, guided by the silvery shadows of the Sierra she knew so well. Then, one terrible day, soon after Jovita returned home, the government killed Luciano. In her sadness, Jovita pushed again to become a soldier, but Papa refused. Jovita, her sisters, and Abuela were scattered like pollen across Mexico, forced to live with different relatives so they could be safe. After a few years, the family reunited and the fighting calmed. Religion was practiced freely once more. But old war grudges remained. The government, still mad at Papa and his revolutionaries, found Papa and Ramon and engulfed them in a storm of bullets. Jovita never saw them alive again. Sorrow swirled inside Jovita's heart. Her sadness found sympathy with other Cristeros, who met one evening to form a plan for justice. When she returned, Jovita cut her long hair short. Next, she put on Ramon's cotton shirt, overalls, riding boots, and wide-brimmed straw hat. Jovita was reborn as a pants-wearing colonel named Juan. She was ready to reignite the revolution. Juan rode into La Sierra de Morones with 80 soldiers and her dog. Her soldiers agreed. If the government could kill Cristeros during a time of peace, their right to practice religion was still not safe. Juan would lead them to victory. Juan knew where to graze their horses in every green, grassy field, and how to find the mesas so big they shot straight up to touch the sky. She could close her eyes and name every spring that grew out of the earth and the ways the rivers and streams wrapped like necklaces along the mountains. As Juan, Jovita could finally wear pants while breathing in the clean Sierra morning air, ready to fill her mission of justice. Jovita's peasant army fought dangerous battles against the powerful government. Her skills were sharp. She listened closely to her dog's warnings that the enemy was near, and rode flat on her belly while shooting. Her knowledge of the secrets of the land helps them win or escape each time. They fought hard for 6 years, and finally, the Federation offered Jovita a truce. She weighed her options and thought of her loved ones. She had won many battles, but had also seen the loss of many lives. Jovita decided to surrender peacefully to the government. Word of Jovita's courage spread like wildfire across the Sierra. She had become so well known that a songwriter composed a corrido in her honor. President Cardenas insisted on meeting the colonel who had given them such a hard time on the battlefield. Jovita strode out of that room a proud revolutionary fighter. She had surrendered one battle, but won another. She wore a wide-brimmed hat, a long-sleeved cotton shirt, riding boots, and a crisp pair of new blue jeans. She wore them well, like she'd always dreamed